This is my 5-minute video reflection of what I've learned in history this past week. We learned a lot about the tribes in the Americas in the past. We learned about the Beringia theory of how the first inhabitants of the Americas came to America on the Bering Strait in search of food. And the Bering Strait was formed when the glaciers melted and water engulfed Beringia, creating the Bering Strait. And the settlers came by boat across it to get to America. And the way we believe that this is true is because Asians and Native Americans share genetic markers on a Y chromosome. And we also learned about Mesoamerica, which is the agricultural revolution, a more abundant and reliable food supplies, populations grew, and permanent settlements were created. We also learned about the Olmec tribe in the Gulf Coast of Mexico from 1200 to 400 BCE. We learned about their religion. We learned about their culture. They labored in fields. And the Olmec trade and commerce was that they were great traders. And then we also learned about the Mayans, who had a large population, and they created a lot of temples. And they made human sacrifices, and they had a lot of contributions to astronomy and writing. And they created a system of math. And then the Aztec tribe, they created neighborhoods with apartments and temples, and they were one of the first tribes to bathe daily. And they were a polytheistic religion with a lot of gods. And they had an elaborate economy and an interesting political system. And they were great with art and architecture, with bridges and dikes and aqueducts and drinkable water. And they had administrative religious buildings with brightly colored and decorated with stone cultures. And what is historical thinking? We also learned about historical thinking and how to analyze history. Then historical thinking is a set of literacy skills for evaluating and analyzing primary source documents to construct a meaningful account of the past. So you can use it, you get a primary source, which is somebody who was actually there and just witnessed what happened at the time that it happened. And you take that so that you can get an account in your head of what happened at that time. There are also secondary sources who are not people who were actually there, but they got their information from people which they got their information from a primary source. And so they are not as credible, but they still could have the right information of what actually happened. And what do I think is going to be in the history books today? I think that technology and social media will be there, because in the 2000s they have exploded and everybody uses social media and technology. I know I do. And I think that this upcoming I think that this upcoming election will be there. Sorry about that. Because a lot of people think this is one of the biggest ones in American history. And I think that all the wars going around are definitely going to be there. And all the everything. And all the social problems that there is. Yeah. That'll probably be in there. And that's all I got. So I hope that this was informative enough. And thank you.